Welcome back everyone to the channel. So today's video is going to be about how creating momentum. How do you create momentum? And after you create the momentum, how do you maintain that momentum? And then after you maintain the momentum, once you start getting your groove and you understand what's happening, and this could be in business, it could be in sports, it could be related to life, anything. Once you maintain that momentum, now how do you advance that momentum? So stay tuned for that. Awesome, welcome back. So the only request that I have is that, like always, if you find some value in this video, that you click the subscribe button, you hit the notification buttons so that you know when we get the next video out, and that you like the video. It will help us reach more people. It will help us reach more audience as we are trying to deliver a message of just anything of value that we learn from ourselves, from our lives. But anyways, with that being said, how many times have you seen in sports a team winning, right? There's two teams playing, and then all of a sudden you see one team that it's winning, and the other one is losing. They're right there in the game, right? They're next to each other. But then all of a sudden you see the other team coming up with the basket, then they make a stop, then they make another basket, then they make a stop, then they make another basket. They made two baskets in a row, and then all of a sudden you start seeing that the other team is either winning or is getting very close to reaching the other team in the scoring board. And this could be in basketball. I see this happening all the time in basketball, especially when I used to watch the Lakers. I remember the 2000 Lakers with Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, the 2000, 2002, 2004. This team was just another level. They could be down 20 points in the game in the third quarter. And then all of a sudden, they turn the lights on. They bring the house down, and the next thing you know, they're down 18. They're down 16. They're down 10 points. They're down 8 points, 2 points. Next thing you know, they take the lead. That is what creates momentum. And you oftentimes hear this when the speaker narrating the video, not the video game, but the game is talking. The momentum has shifted, and then you see this in any other sport, NFL, baseball, but you see the momentum that it has starts to shift, okay? So that's what I want to talk to you about. How do you create the momentum? How do you maintain the momentum? And how do you advance that momentum once you have created it? Okay, so creating momentum. The fastest way that you're going to be able to create the momentum, there is no secret formula to that. And this could be in sports, this could be in life, this could be in business. The fastest way that you're going to create momentum is that you work on the front end of the business, that you are the leader, that you're taking charge of that team that is down 15, 20 points in the game. That if you are a family member and then, everything is against you, you fall behind in your mortgage payment, you fall behind on your bills, you fall behind on your car payment, whatever that is, all of a sudden, everything is against you. You have a good call session when you're making your phone calls and everybody's rejecting you. Everybody's just turning off the phone. Everybody's just, cursing you out and you seem to be getting no results. The only way that you're going to be able to create that momentum is that you stick with it, that you understand that there's a shift that you may need to make. But if you think that by a minute that Kobe Bryant is gonna ask Phil Jackson, hey Phil Jackson, you know what? We're not winning the game. Go ahead and take me off the game. And then there goes Kobe Bryant, just sitting on the bench. That's never gonna happen with a high level caliber star like that. LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, all of those big guys that did big things in the game, Michael Jordan, you're not going to hear them complain to their coach about why they're not winning the game and they should be taken out of the game. Same thing in business. I run two businesses right now, I'm not going to go complain to my vice president, to my broker and tell them, you know what, I can't seem to be selling a house. I can't seem to be selling a policy. You know what, just give me a write-up or just take me off the game. I don't want to be here in this business anymore because I can't seem to get the momentum going. So the only way that I'm going to be able, and same thing when I'm making my phone calls, like, hey, what kind of a person is going to make me if I call my wife and tell her, you know what, I can't get this going. I'm actually just going to go ahead and quit because I can't seem to find that momentum. That's not going to happen. I mean, it might happen with some people, but that's not who I'm talking to. I'm talking to you, the one that is looking value for right now, that is looking to create that momentum. And then once you create it, how do you do that? How do I create that momentum? The only way that you're going to be able to create it is to work on the front end, to work on yourself. That's what it means for in business, to work on yourself. That whether that means, do I need to attend a seminar for me to get better? Do I need to go read a book once a month if I'm not doing so? And if I'm reading one book a month, can I read two books a month? Can I read a book on psychology? Can I read a book on the brain? If I'm in the sales business, can I read a book on how to be a better salesperson? That is the type of work that you need to do in order for you to create that momentum when you're working in business. Life is no different. If like me, I'm a father, I got to work on myself as well for me to be a better father to my kids. So that means I need to read a book on how to be a better father. I need to spend more quality time with my kids in order for me to connect with them at a deeper level and for me to start creating that bond, that relationship, so that therefore it translates into a momentum. And then once I create that momentum, how do I, maintain that? And that's what I want to talk to you about. But here, it's just very simple, just working on the front end. Again, just making more phone calls, just talking to more people, spending more time quality with your family members, with your kids. If you're in sports, obviously, you got to be in the game and understand what's happening in the offense. If we're not getting in the buckets, okay, got it. You know what? You turn left when you should have turned right. Actually, you know what? We're going to call the next play. Instead of you going to the right, you're going to go to the left. I'm going to make the signal so that you can go ahead and, turn to the left, and then I'll pass you the ball. And if you find the man open that's going to be behind me, I'm going to cut to the basket so that the wingman can come behind me, and then therefore you can pass the ball to him, and then you can score. We have a better shot to score in the basket. If we're not doing any of that stuff, and it's just me just trying to like score all the baskets, and all the team members are just coming, all the other teammates are just coming up to me, the other team basically, then that strategy is not going to be able to work. It's just to work on it. What can we do to make this better? How do we adjust, and how do we pivot? How do we move forward? That is basically how you create the momentum. So it's really that simple. There's no secret formula. It's just to work on it and to understand, to be able to reason and understand and assess the situation so that you can make the changes. Just like the coach always makes the changes when he's able to see, what's working and what's not working. He's always there in order to be able to create that momentum. So once you are able to achieve creating that momentum, let's just say, I got it. You know what? I had a good call. That was such a good call. I'm going to make another one. And then the next one is just, man, this was a great call. Guess what? If you're in sports, man, that play actually worked. Let's go ahead and try it again. There you go. Everybody cuts. You cut. The ball gets passed. They find the open man. They go ahead and shoot. Boom. It's working. Great. Got it. How do we maintain the momentum? Just like the first rule, there's no secret formula. The way that you're going to maintain the momentum is to continue to do what you're doing. It's as simple as that. I'm going to continue what I'm doing until we achieve a better result. Because now that we create the momentum, we need to be able to maintain that momentum. Okay? Because if that play worked, beautifully, if we fooled the defense and we know that we can do it again, we got to keep on doing that. If that script that I threw to my client on the phone and he found some value in it, and if I was able to lower their guard, because again, when you're in sales, understand this, that people don't want to be sold. They want to buy. So if I'm making a phone call and if I'm talking to somebody, I'm not going to be able to just come up to them and say, hey, you want to buy a house or you want to sell a house? No, it might work for some people, but it's not going to work all the time. What I'm trying to get to is people don't want to buy. People don't want to be sold. They want to buy. So, man, that was such a good call. I'm going to try that. I'm going to try that line again. And then therefore you go again. You try that script again. You try it again. boom, then you're having success with it. It's just now you maintain it. You see, you got what didn't work, you got what worked, and so now you're able to just maintain that momentum. In sports, again, if that play worked just beautifully, we're gonna try it again. Same thing in baseball. Same thing in the NFL. It's the same thing. And then in family as well. That was great, babe. We had such a good time. Why don't we do it again? Let's go ahead and do it again next weekend. Let's go ahead and go grab some lunch. Let's go have some fun. That's how you maintain the momentum. It's just as simple as that. It's just being able to maintain that momentum. Understanding that what didn't work, it's you basically weed it out and then you throw it out, and then what's working, you maintain that. You understand what is working. So that will be, how do you maintain the momentum? How do you shift from once you create that momentum to how now you basically maintain that momentum? Finally, the third one. The third one is advancing momentum. And how am I going to do that? How do I advance my momentum? So once you are able to create that momentum, once you figure it out, what's working, you maintain that momentum. Okay, you figured out what's working, what's not working. Now that you got that, guess what you're going to do? Guess what we all got to do? We ought to do. Now we got to advance the momentum. We need to be able to replicate that. So the way we do that is we tell our leaders, we tell our coach, guess what? This is what I just saw in that play. Guess what? That power forward, he's always turning to the left, and then he's always leaving the wing open. So we gotta make sure that we let's call a play so that the point guard can go ahead and cut to my right, because he's always cutting to the left, and then therefore he leaves his left open. Why don't we create a call play that's gonna work there? So you figure that out in the field. I'm gonna get into sports a little bit. A good person. There's many of them, but I really like this individual. His name was Luke Walton. Luke Walton, he played for the Lakers from 2000 and I believe 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, during the years of Kobe Bryant. Luke Walton was a very good coach in the field. He was a small forward or a shooting guard, I believe, one of those two. And Phil Jackson, which he was the coach of the Lakers, he would always put Luke Walton in the game because he was able to spot what was working and what was not working. And therefore, he was able to call those plays out for the other teammates. If that play was not going to work, I spotted it. His IQ level was very high. He was able to make sure that, the teammates, if they were on the right and they needed to go to the left, call the play out. He was very, very good, very diligent at doing this. Another person that's very good at that too is LeBron James. Believe it or not, LeBron James, a 4-time NBA player, and I think it's 16, 17-time All-Star, 18-time All-Star, I believe he is. Very good at calling the plays. His IQ, again, his basketball IQ is very, very high, and he's able to call the plays, is what is called on the fly. He's able to adjust, which another one that you won't believe doesn't have to do with basketball or baseball, but in boxing, that person was Floyd Mayweather. Undefeated. He went 50-0, and you can say whatever you want about the man, but the work ethic that he had, that momentum that he was able to create, how he was able to maintain that momentum, and then what he was able to find what worked and what didn't work, he advanced that momentum. And he was very good at adjusting on the fly. Even though he had his trainers, with him ringside, he was able to adjust on the fly, and he was able to spot what worked, what didn't work. If I'm throwing the uppercut, if I'm throwing the jab, maybe I see that he has the rib cage open, so maybe I'm just gonna go ahead and throw a body shot. Whatever that was, he was very good at spotting those up. So that is how you advance the momentum. You tell your leaders, you tell your coaches, you tell your family, you know what, babe, this really worked for us last week. How do we go ahead and replicate that? Can we do that again? And why don't we try again to go next weekend and go have some lunch? Let's go ahead and do it again. You know what, the kids really love where we took them last week. Let's go ahead and keep that into the schedule, add that to the schedule, and then create that at least once a month. Something like that is what is going to allow you to advance that momentum. Because again, if you're in sales, what is the difference of making 100 calls a day versus 100 calls a week? Okay. And what is the difference between selling, 100 homes a year versus 100 homes in the first quarter? Believe it or not, there is. I just talked to an agent who sold 700 homes so far for the year. Not just himself, but he has a team. Because again, when you're in sales, when you are in any business, you're going to understand that it's not a self-made me. It's a we made me. Not necessarily me, but my team. So that is basically how you elevate the momentum, how you advance the momentum, telling the other people what worked and what didn't work. If you have team members on your team, and if you are seeing something that you're being very successful, you're having a lot of success, you know what? This is what's working for me. This is what worked for me. Give it a try and see what works for you. If it doesn't work, you go ahead and adjust it, make it your own. That is really what it is. You're advancing that momentum. You're adding value, in other words. You're adding value to your team members, to your colleagues. Same thing in sports. Kobe Bryant was really good at that as well, at advancing that momentum. Once he was able to see what worked and what not, although I want to score, he was known for a ball hugger, meaning that he wanted to take all the shots. Maybe he did at the beginning. We all go through that. We're all humans. We all grow up at some point that, we say maybe it's not just about me. I understand that I want all the attention for myself, but I understand also now that I'm older, that I'm wiser, that it's not just about me. And as I'm getting older, how do I reserve some of that energy that I have so that therefore I can leverage the people that I already have? If I know that person is a good three-point shooter, I'm going to pass the ball to him or to her so that therefore they can shoot it. They're doing the work, not for you, but for the team. So it's a we team. And oftentimes, you hear these things about, self-made millionaire, self-made, billionaire. But most people that are playing big time in the game, they will tell you that it's not a self-made. That doesn't exist. It wasn't just you. Along the way, you had to have some help from whether your spouse, whether your cousin, it was your mom, your father, a colleague, somebody that helped you along the way is what made you a millionaire, a billionaire. Go ahead and ask whoever you want to. They will always say, this is a we team millionaire, a we team billionaire. So that is aside from the point. My point of that is, that once you maintain that momentum is, how do I make them add value? How do I make them better? But those are the 3 steps. It's creating momentum, maintaining momentum, and also advancing that momentum. But I want to ask you, what do you think? What are some of your thoughts? Because for me, it's very interesting to find out what other people are thinking. So I want to ask you if you have any questions about that, or if you agree, disagree, or you have something that works better for you in creating that momentum, just go ahead and leave it in the comment section. You're going to find it down here below. But I hope that serves you in some way. I hope that you get some value out of it. I wanted to share those with you because I'm the kind of individual that is very heavily involved in how do I make myself better? How do I operate my mind better? And how I operate in my personal business, I get a lot from it from sports analogies. So because a sports analogy and business, they are very they go hand in hand. They are very similar. They go with each other. A lot of the strategies that I use are based off, some of the analogies that I get from playing basketball or playing soccer or whatever sports that might be. But that's how I get my analogies. I understand that, they go hand in hand, and, if you pay attention to them, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But those are my three ways that I like to talk about momentum is, just creating the momentum, because if there's no momentum, nothing is working your way. How do I create that momentum? Well, I keep on doing what I'm doing. Okay. How do I maintain the momentum? Well, once I figured out what worked, what didn't work, I maintain that, and I just keep on, continue to replicate, keep on doing it, adjusting, shifting. Okay, got it. Once I got that, how do I advance the momentum? Well, now I'm going to talk to my team members. I'm going to talk to my coaches. I'm going to talk to my upline, whoever that is. Now you share that. You speak that out because it's working for you. So it's your job as an individual, as a leader, to share that out and to other people to see what's working. Because again, it's a team, and everybody works as a team. Even if you're an agent that's working as a solo agent, you still have a team. Your family is your team, especially if you're married. You know, you can't say that it's just me. You know, you have your spouse, you have your kids. You guys are a team. You know, you don't have to have a humongous team to consider yourself a team. I have my team. That's my family. Those are my kids. Some of them are working for me. You know, so that is my team. That is what I consider my team. It's my job as a leader that I replicate, that I tell them what my day-to-day looks like, so that therefore they can understand when I'm doing a certain thing, and then when I'm not there, what needs to be done. But with that being said, I hope that you find some value. I hope that you get some of it. Only request, once again, as I said at the beginning of the video, if you like this video and if you think that you find some value in it, please go ahead and share it. Please go ahead and share it with your people. Like the video, make some comments, hit the bell notification so you can get some notifications next time we put up a video. We're putting content on a weekly basis. You know, we're talking about how to be better, talking about the stock market, we're talking about the real estate market, we're talking about, you know, what's happening here in the country, what's happening around the world. Very interesting channel for you to be part of. I wouldn't want you to miss it. So go ahead and share the channel. With that being said, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.